Hey, good morning. Yes, it is. It's Monday, December 4th. So, everybody must be getting all excited about Christmas. Probably if you got family adventures that you're going to have this time of year where you're traveling, just be careful. And remember, it's not, don't let the retailers screw you, basically. It's not how big or how expensive the gift is, it's the thought behind it. And that's what we're going to talk about today. And we're going to talk about passive income. All right, stay with us. All right, so welcome back to the channel, station, what have you. If you're a new viewer, welcome to the Crazy House. Uh, we talk about a hodgepodge of everything from business to personal life to everything in between. I got a little bit of. It's out in the rain yesterday, trying to help Zach get a deer. No, he saw one last night. They thought it was a decent one, but he couldn't get a shot. So we've got this whole week of muzzle loading. So he is coming back out. He's my other son. He's coming back out to do some muzzle loading. See if he can't get one. I've got the 8-point hanging up. So, but I wanted to talk about today, and let me just hit on the comments first. Randy, I'm so sorry you lost your Rottweiler. I mean, I know what it's like to lose a pet, and they're not pets; they're family, and they're worse than losing a child. And the sad thing is, you're going to lose them. You know, every 20 to 22 years or less, something else happens. They get cancer. They get, but every time I say never again, and it don't work. This last time we lost Samantha, I've always had German Shepherds, but she was a great dog, but my dogs all get all the boosters for Lyme disease and all the other stuff, but for some reason, even with all the boosters and everything, she was 15. She ended up with an issue that was caused from a tick bite. And she started bleeding internally, and we spent over $1,000 trying to get her fixed, and it didn't work. Finally, in the end, we lost her. So the last time I had that happen, I said never again. And then I had friends of mine started posting puppies for sale. They're like, you need to get another dog. You've always had a dog, you need another dog. So a friend of mine, uh, Lyndon and Angela, they happen to have a litter of pups. And so I decided I'd go at least look at them. That's like a car. You go look at a vehicle. If they can get you into that vehicle for a test drive, they got you, right? Well, I got over there and I was talking to them about, you know, not really sure if I wanted another pet. And then I was telling them how I choose the dog. And I choose the dog by letting the dog choose me. And what does that mean? Well, I'm interested in females only, okay? The females are a lot better around kids. And the grandkids are around here right from toddlers right up. And I want a dog, no matter how old she is, that will put up with it. Our dogs in the past, everything from the kids, yanking on their hair and stuff like that, that they just, and the Shelby, the black and tan that I have right now, if we have one of the grandkids and it's, two and a half, she would actually get on her belly and belly crawl towards the grandchild. But I told them that I wanted to allow the dog to pick me. So was there a chance if I decided to have a pup to have first pick of the litter? And they said, well, which one do you want? I said, well, they're tiny right now. Can you give it a couple weeks so they can get up and start moving around? And they said, sure. That they weren't going to let them go until they were 6 to 8 weeks of age anyways. But they were already getting people saying they wanted to come look, you know. But like I say, they were really good friends of mine. So they said, no, we'll wait for the 2 weeks. And then make your decision in the 2 weeks, and then come back out. If you decide you want one, then you'll have first choice of whichever female chooses you, per se. And that is when I let the dogs choose me. I've always done this. This is the way to get a dog for life. Is have them put the litter out, okay? And then just sit on the outskirts of that litter and wait for that one dog to come meandering over to you and want attention. See, now that dog is picking you. You're not picking the dog. I see so many problems with people and German Shepherds and even Rottweilers and stuff because they're picking the dog instead of letting the dog pick them. If you want something, one for life that, will go to the ends of the earth for you, you got to let them pick you. So what I did, Randy, was I went over there and I sat down, and Sheba, she's a little black and a little bit of tan on her, but she's almost solid black. And she was the runt of the litter. And wouldn't you know it, that crazy dog rambled over and wanted me to hold it. So I said, really? The runt? And so I told him, I said, I want that one right there. And so they said, it's yours there. We're going to get the shots and everything else for it, and then we'll let you know when it's ready to go. I said, sounds great. Thank you. And then I got home. And one of the things that bothered me the most about Samantha was I worked during the day, and a lot of times she was home alone by herself because my wife, has been, in and out of hospitals for a long time. Right now she's up in Saranac Lake in one, and we just got done. She had her hip pinned Thursday. I mean, that poor girl, she goes through a lot. So I sat there thinking it worked. I said, if one dog is good, maybe two would be better. I know you're thinking, you dog lovers out there, you're saying, oh no, right? Yeah, that was me. And, it's been pretty good now that they're older, but getting them through that chewing stage and jumping and scratching and stuff, I mean, this desk that I have here, now, when I first got them, I spent a lot of time back here working and stuff. And I put a little blanket down underneath the desk here, and the two of them would curl up on that. And every so often they get them a little bit of attention, then they go back and lay down. Well, now they fight if I'm back here because Shelby's in there right now, and there is no room for Shebe. So Shebe's out here somewhere. Yeah, she's laying in the hall, being good. So just be careful, Randy, when you say never again. I could never picture myself without having some companion. But it makes it hard if you travel or are away from home a lot. You know, but I'm a homebody. I don't care about traveling. You know, I traveled enough when I was in the military brat. When I was a kid, we were every 2 years Japan, Hawaii, Florida, Texas. Yeah, you name it, we've been there, and I got enough traveling from that. So enough with the dogs. Let's go on to being thankful no matter what. And a lot of people put undue pressure upon themselves every year. And that is trying to come up with the right gift, coming up with the budget for the gifts, and it's very stressful. Very stressful. But that's only because you're making it stressful. See, if I did one thing right in parenting when my kids were growing up, and that is, I don't care what it is. If somebody takes the time to do something for you, then you damn well better be appreciative and say thank you. I don't care how minuscule it is. If someone took time out of their day to do something for you, then you need to be appreciative for what they did. And I instilled that in my kids because that was instilled in me by my grandparents growing up. And it's a good way to teach kids. You know, I know that the example that I used to tell the kids, they just look at me crazy, but, about being thankful. So I don't care if somebody takes the time to shit in a box and wrap it and give it to you. If you open it up and just be thankful that they took the time to take a crap in a box and then move on. But that's extreme example. But it brings you to, if somebody takes the time to buy a card and an envelope and send it to you and takes the time to write, love this one or have a great day or this or that. Takes the time to put a stamp on it and it takes the time to put it in the post office or out there at the post office box that we have outside the rural deliveries. Then they took time out of their precious day to do something for you. See, that's the one thing you can't get back is time. So if I see people spending time doing something for me, I'm very appreciative. They don't have to do that. But what I'm talking about is the other extreme of being disappointed because you didn't get the right gift or they didn't spend a lot of money on you or you didn't get a lot of money for Christmas or yada, 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 yada. Too frickin' bad. You lost the whole point of the holidays. Thank you, Mr. Retailers of Walmart and Toys R Us and everything else. The point of the holidays is gift giving and, and being together with family. It all goes back to Christ and the gifts being brought. But even if you're not religious, Christmas is a great time just to get together with family and do the things that you enjoy the most. And if you don't get along with certain family members, maybe you should take a look at why is it that you don't get along with them and try to mend a bridge, mend a fence or build a bridge to get across to their side of the equation. It's not that hard. It's just making the effort. But for you folks out there struggling with this and getting stressed out over gift giving, see, I run into the problem with me is I don't know what my kids are into anymore. And I'm the type of dad, I just give them cash. Cash in an envelope. See ya. Go get what you want. I tried gift cards one year and they end up losing the gift cards, two of them, and you can't get them back. So I end up giving them cash, and that way they can get whatever they want, or they can spend it towards something bigger. But I don't feel obligated to have cash in those cards. I can give them just simply a card and know that they will appreciate it, because my kids are instilling in their kids that same thought process of no matter what it is somebody gives you, if they took the time out of their day to give something to you, what do you say? It's thank you. It's not that hard to say thank you. I think it's harder to sit there and bitch and complain about not getting your perfect gift. It's a lot much easier just to say thank you. And if you're the one that is upset or discouraged or what have you because you didn't get the perfect gift, maybe you need to have a good look internally on what's going on with you and what are you thankful for. Instead of being a pain in the ass, start a different direction. If you have zero expectations of others and then somebody does something for you, you're going to have a better chance of saying thank you and being appreciative than, the opposite. That's my take on it. So don't get stressed out this holiday. Don't let the retailers tell you got to have this and this and this, or you're not going to survive, or your kid's not going to survive without it. So that brings us to passive income. What is passive income? Passive income is income that you could have had you done something differently, is how I define it. All right, so if you go, you own a shop and you're doing, marketing or what have you, those are direct sales from something that you're doing. If everybody knows that you do small engine services in the spring and the fall, and they bring it to you, that's what I call direct. It's coming to the shop. Passive is when your customers tell other people, which is indirect, about how great you are, and you get that revenue coming in from their friends. Okay, that's indirect versus direct with marketing and anything else. Excuse me. But passive income comes from the relationships you have with other shops, other people, and the public in general, the community that you're in. See, now, if I was looking to have my lawnmower serviced, okay, and I brought it to a shop, and I wasn't impressed by what they had done because it wasn't done right, and it's nothing that I would allow to come out of my shop. You know, shoddy work. It's all you got to make it right. So back in it goes. 2 to 3 weeks later, they tell me it's ready to pick up, and they still haven't fixed most of the issues. Let's say the deck belt was loose, or the blades need replacing, or this or that, and they didn't do any of that. Passive income comes in when I can directly get them a lot of customers by giving them a shout out, right? But since they did such shoddy work, and I'm not impressed, or the bill was exorbitant, you know what I'm trying to say, is huge. Sorry about that, my vocabulary, but it's huge, and they didn't do diddly squat. You're not going to tell people about it unless it's in a negative way, right? So passive income is indirect income that comes in from people telling other people and passing it on to other people to get more income coming into the shop. Because if they're doing that, then they're impressed, they're pleased, and they like how you run your business. And this could be just how you could be one of the best shops going, but if you're not good at customer service and your customer doesn't feel valued, you know, you're going to lose passive income. If you do shoddy work and you've got the greatest customer service, you're going to not get that passive income. Because I don't care how good your customer service is, if your shop isn't backing up what you say you're doing, you don't get that extra revenue coming in. And most people don't look at that. A lot of the businesses don't look at the passive income. That's income they could have had if they had done things correctly. See, a lot of shops, a lot of places think, so one-time hit. They get you, and they get you good, and there's going to be a gazillion customers just like you that'll keep coming. When the reality of it is, word gets around fast. If you're not doing good quality work, or your customer service sucks and people aren't talking about you to other people in a positive way, then you are not going to get any passive income. Simple as that. So, passive income is any income that you're not realizing because you either did shoddy work or your customer service to the public is not that great. And the biggest way to lose passive income is by not being honest with your customers. If they feel you're being deceptive, and if you're a shop that a machine comes in and you're not doing a front to back on that machine, let's say the customer just wanted a service on it, all right? And when it comes in, you do a service on it, but you notice that the deck belt is getting bad and one of the pulleys is loose because the bearings have gone out. If you don't get a hold of that customer and tell them about that, or if you don't just go ahead and get it fixed and you let that leave, that to me is shoddy work. It's because you're being lazy as far as checking that machine from front to back. And I know a lot of shops that will fix a lawnmower and kick it out the door and never try it, other than turn the PTO switch on, off, quick, this and that. We have an area, thank God for us, where we can go out and actually start everything up, check everything out. And a lot of times, I'm the last person on it before I give the checkbox that yes, it's okay to go. Because I don't want it coming back because we missed something. Because if we miss something, that's on us, right? I'm not saying that your shop or your business is going to be perfect every time, but the lower the number are of returns for the same issues or for the same deal, the more apt you're going to get passive income. Passive income comes and goes. It's all directly related to how you treat your customers and how you treat people in general in your community. Bad news travels fast. Takes a little longer for good news, but good news does get out. So on that note, you guys have a great Monday, and we'll see you here tomorrow morning bright and early. All right. Have a great day.